आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
On the show tonight, national anger and concern about Rahul Gandhi's comments and his erratic, unpredictable, almost violent behavior. And at 9 o'clock tonight, how the opposition is looking at form over substance, the ridiculous situation of trying to block the Prime Minister from speaking in the House today. No. And ladies and gentlemen, there have been concerns for a long time about Rahul Gandhi's behavior. Let me first begin with a clear statement. It's not the first time and not the last time we're going to be concerned about the way he behaves. There is a problem. There is a problem. There is a behavioral problem. It may be temperamental problem. It may be a volatility problem. But there is a problem. Now, what happened today? Typical herd mentality behavior. Rahul Gandhi sitting on one of the steps of Parliament doing some kind of a protest with 15 MPs. And then a much younger man walks past. A much younger man. He's 51 but much younger. 51, by the way, is much younger than Rahul Gandhi. Walks past. And he's a parliamentarian. He has been with the Congress party. He left the Congress party in 2024. Rahul Gandhi confronts him and says, "Look there, there goes a traitor." First of all, who talks like that? There goes a traitor. And then he says, "Come here, my traitor friend. Come here, my traitor friend. Shake hands with me." Now this is, I'm sorry to say, mad behavior. There's no other word for the way Rahul Gandhi has behaved with Ravneet Singh Bittu. It's mad behavior. But he continues to behave like that. Ravneet Bittu walks past and says, and then he says, "Don't worry, you'll come back." And then the imperious tone, "Don't worry, you'll come back." Ravneet Bittu at that point of time points to him and he says, "Desh ka dushman, desh ka dushman, desh ka dushman," which has gone viral today, meaning you're an enemy of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the point is not just the incident which happened. We must be concerned because there are some things Ravneet Bittu said later we must investigate. He said Rahul Gandhi tried to physically confront him. But more importantly, he said, and I'm only repeating his words, he says that the person who holds the position of leader of the opposition seemed intoxicated or possibly under the influence of drugs. He went on to say that in his view, because he was in close range, Rahul Gandhi was not in his senses. Now, these are not the first time things like this have been said. My question is, whether he was intoxicated or drugged or not, does a leader of the opposition behave like this? Sushma Swaraj has been leader of the opposition. Atal Bihari Vajpayee has been leader of the opposition. Would you ever imagine them behaving in this, what would I say? I don't want to use intemperamental language, but say this terrible, semi-intoxicated kind of way. Would you ever expect them to behave like this? They were also leaders of the opposition. Now you say, I'm leader of the opposition, I must be allowed to do this and that, but are you behaving in a way worthy of being leader of the opposition? Finally, ladies and gentlemen, 3 examples on Rahul Gandhi's erratic behavior. Example 1, hugging the Prime Minister. 20th July 2018, when the country began to get concerned. What is wrong with this man? Does anyone behave like this? Following it up with 23rd July, started winking at people. Winking in Parliament. People said, "My God, what's wrong with this man? Does anyone behave like this?" And then the flying kiss, the Smriti Irani incident. 9th August 2023, starts blowing flying kisses in Parliament. Now, under allegations of being intoxicated, calls a fellow member of Parliament a traitor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of concern what Bitu has said, that the LOP was intoxicated. I'm not taking it at face value. But let me say this, people of the country, as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, we have a problem.
Business as usual in Parliament this morning. But watch what happens when Rahul Gandhi runs into his former party colleague and current BJP MP Ravneet Bittu.
Traitor walking right by. Take a look at the face. What it looks like. Hello, brother. My traitor friend. Surrender. Don't worry, you'll come back.
Look at the entire sequence from a different angle. When Rahul calls the grandson of a martyr, Singh, Ravneet Bittu a traitor. Watch also how Bitu gave it back.
Traitor walking right by. Take a look at the face. What it looks like. Hello, brother. My traitor friend. Don't worry, you'll come back.
The entire sentence which was used by Rahul Gandhi was, "Hello, my traitor friend, will soon come back to the Congress party." To which Ravneet Singh Bittu replied as, "You are the enemy of the nation." All the fellow MPs of the Congress party were seen laughing and mocking at that particular time, which was extremely shameful and disrespectful to the MOS Railways Ravneet Singh Bittu.
अगर ट्रेटर है तुम्हारे और भी कई दोस्त यार होंगे मित्र होंगे जो ट्रेटर होंगे बट देन व्हाई डू यू वांट हिम टू कम बैक इफ ही इज अ ट्रेटर नो इट्स अ माइंडसेट
There's national anger over reference to Bittu, a proud Sikh, as a traitor.
राहुल गांधी देशद्रोही है, गद्दार है देश का, तो उसको सभी गद्दार लगते हैं। इनका पूरा देश गद्दार है, देशद्रोही है। इन्होंने देश का बंटवारा किया है, सिखों के साथ हमेशा इन्होंने गलत काम किया है।
मेरी बात तो छोड़िए, आप हाथ मिलाने की बात कर रहे हो। आप देश के दुश्मन में नहीं हाथ मिलाऊं। आप सरदारों के खून से आपके हाथ रंगे हुए हैं, मैं हाथ नहीं मिलाऊंगा।
For a party that has blood on its hands over the 1984 anti-Sikh riots, Rahul has only ended up making it worse. Third day in a row, this budget session.
And the BJP today fielded Hardeep Puri, Union Minister, and he joins me live today. Mr. Puri, in summary, how do you view that episode that happened on the steps of Parliament today?
My reaction, Arnab, is not that of a representative of the BJP or a cabinet minister. As a proud Sikh, someone who has been through the turmoil of 1984, I was deeply upset. And when I did the press conference today at the BJP headquarters, I pointed out that the choice of language by the honorable leader of opposition, the use of the word traitor, and he used this in English, where the meaning is that you commit treason against your nation, is deeply despicable. It is something that no one should use in a parliamentary discourse or in any discourse. Now, why does Mr. Gandhi choose to be so cavalier about it? Your program, I heard it in full volume. There are people sitting around Mr. Gandhi who are laughing, mocking Mr. Bittu. Have they forgotten the desecration of the Golden Temple in 1984? Have they forgotten the anti-Sikh riots? They were not riots, it was a pogrom against my community. 3,000 innocent people died. You know, we are only 1.6% or so of the country's population, and we comprise about 20% of the armed forces of the country. To name the Sikhs as traitors, and Mr. Bittu's own grandfather fell to an assassin's bullet. Now, I have never mixed religion and politics. I don't go to gurdwaras and speak, but I feel very strongly about this. I think Mr. Gandhi's conduct, and you cited several other instances, I can add another one. When Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, he passed an ordinance, rather the cabinet passed an ordinance, and Mr. Gandhi in a press conference tore that ordinance and threw it around. Now, apart from the winking, the hugging, today, I don't know whether what Mr. Bittu has said in his characterization of the state of his mind, whether he was intoxicated, I don't want to get into that because I don't know. But I can tell you, as somebody who was a civil servant for 39 years, 4 years of think tanking, and the 9th year as a minister, this is not the kind of language anyone should use. And Arnab ji, I'm not talking about the leader of opposition. No parliamentarian should use this language. Because what happens is if it comes from the leader of opposition, many of us are then encouraged and feel incentivized to give it back in kind. Now, we have not had parliament functioning for 3 days. Today I was in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha at 5 o'clock, when we were expecting the Honorable Prime Minister to speak. And what happened? Lady members of the Congress came and blocked the entrance physically. Now, there is a way you can physically throw them out, but surely some modicum of basic decency, and the use of the word traitor is, in my language, neither anchored in decency, nor in dignity, nor the kind of discourse that anyone should use in Parliament. And I think it's a very sad day for the Congress. After having, taken what they got after the 84 desecration of the Golden Temple and the anti-Sikh riot, people call it a genocide. People call it a pogrom. Because riot means that two sides fight. Here, members of one community were just picked on in cold blood and killed. And today, they have forgotten that. I don't know what state of mind this was, but to use the word traitor, I think I was upset as a Sikh, even more than the fact that I was upset as a BJP Karyakarta or as a union minister.
When I met him in 2014, Mr. Puri, that's the only interview he's given. He stopped giving interviews after that. I asked him, did the Sikh riots take place? He said, absolutely. Were they completely wrong? He said, absolutely. I asked, were congressmen were involved? Then he asked me a question, did innocent people die? Absolutely. I asked him again, were congressmen involved? And then he said, some congressmen were involved. But he kept trying to say, I was not in action at that time. I was not in action at that time, as if not being in action. He was 15 years old then. As if not being in action was an alibi. So he has this issue with the Sikh community. He has a deep-seated bitterness which comes to the fore when dealing with respected members of the Sikh community, isn't it? I mean, I see a pattern building here. Especially the Congress Party's continued promotion of Jagdish Titler, its indirect endorsement of Sajjan Kumar. So there seems to be an animosity here, isn't it?
Arnab ji, I can tell you that I am entirely in agreement with you. Entirely in agreement with you on your characterization of his attitude towards the Sikhs. There is deep-rooted angst bordering on hatred. So that comes out. When you asked him the first questions in 2014, I must tell you, I'm not trying to flatter you on your show, but that interview I will always remember. It was many years ago, I think it was in 2014, I remember I was not in the party then. And I remember when you asked him, so I had a more charitable explanation then, that here is a 15-year-old who was perhaps traumatized by the fact that he lost a member of his family. He was perhaps traumatized by that. But today he is no longer a 15-year-old.
7 years.
Today he is the leader of opposition and he is the effective repository of power in the party. I don't want to get into a discussion on Mr. Kharge's position as president. I don't want to get into that debate. But the fact is, nothing moves in that party unless Mr. Gandhi or his sister or Srimati Sonia ji, somebody authorizes it. So, but he has to get over that. If you hate the Sikhs so much that you will to refer to them as traitors, then you have a larger problem because the community, this is, some members of the community may have forgotten the desecration of the Golden Temple in 84. But they will not forget the cold-blooded killings that took place. I mean, 3,000 people of my community were killed in cold blood. They are called riots. They are not riots. A riot, by definition, is a two-way process. When two communities fight. This was cold-blooded pogrom. This was genocide. People picked on members of a community. Some members of my community were thrown from a second-floor roof in Delhi. They were burnt, as one of my colleagues said, with tires around their neck. So it's a very, very traumatic past, and we are trying to live that down. And Mr. Gandhi, of all people, should have not forgotten those lessons. So today, to call somebody a traitor just because he doesn't like the Sikhs, or because this gentleman was a member of his party and left him for a mature, a more positive political career based on development elsewhere. You can't call some traitor. And then he says, you will come back. I mean, I don't understand. If he's a traitor, why do you want him to come back? And so I think there is much about Mr. Gandhi, including that famous press conference where he tore up an ordinance passed by a cabinet, which I do not understand. I think they need to redo their sums. But certainly with today's conduct, both in terms of this remark and what the Congress party has been saying subsequently. I've read statements by other Congress leaders. They're saying, no, Mr. Bittu deserves this characterization. And they're doubling in. So I don't think they've learned the lesson. And I hope a program like yours with your viewers, when they see what Supriya Srinathji is saying or what Raja Waring is saying and the others are saying, it's a very sad day. A very sad day for the Congress party. The Congress party is imploding. Nobody wants to be in alliance with them. Congress party is losing state after state. But you don't do this to an entire community. Because the community, the Sikhs are very much an integral part of India. They've given their lives. I talked about the 350th anniversary of the of Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru. I talked about the 10th Guru, how the Sahibzadas gave their lives for the country. And you call somebody a traitor, which means he's committed treason just because he left you, just because he doesn't like your politics. I mean, there are so many other Sikhs in Punjab, including former chief ministers. You should talk to them in private and ask them what they think of this gentleman.
Well, you know, you mentioned 1984. I was actually, just a small aside, Mr. Puri, when that interview happened, I kept looking at him. I couldn't believe here was a man who was refusing to have any memory of 1984. I have a memory of 1984 because I used to live in A block, Chandarnagar, Janakpuri, which, as you know, Janakpuri, that part, and Tilaknagar, the maximum killings of Sikhs took place. I saw houses burning. I saw tires put around Sikhs. So I felt very strongly about it. Even today, the kada I wear here was gifted to me by a Sikh friend who lived with us in that period in 1984. So I found it incredible that he behaved like that. My last question to you, Mr. Puri, is, and I'm glad that the government fielded you, and I understand you were speaking as a Sikh more than as a politician, but nevertheless, you know, is this all, are you giving him a long rope, you know? The thing is that today, physical confrontation stopping the Prime Minister from speaking, calling a member of parliament a traitor, and saying things like, hey, look there, look at his face, look at that man's face, that's what a traitor looks like, this casual conversation. Is there no punitive action, no legal steps, nothing that you would do beyond a complaint? Shouldn't you be doing something there? I mean, I don't know. Is Rahul Gandhi supposed to get away with everything?
Arnab ji, you ask a question which is absolutely relevant at this point. That can somebody make a statement like this and get away with it? My submission to you, Arnab ji, is that he will not get away with it. Because maybe insofar as the discipline of the House is concerned, you know, they will take the defense that this was a statement made outside the House. They will say it is a statement made partially in jest, it partly out of friendship. They will give all kinds of excuses. But this statement has been heard by the Sikh community, not just in India, the Sikh community, the worldwide. Look, I've had the privilege of serving in London, in Tokyo, in Geneva, in New York, in Brazil. Sikhs everywhere are very particular about this kind of an insult. And you know, he recently went to the United States and he was in a crowd of young Sikh people. And he walked up to a young Sikh and said, you know, in India you will not be allowed to wear a turban. I was incensed then. I was incensed then. I mean, I wear a turban. Today other people with me in the press conference. I had Mr. Lovely, who has been elected 5 times, an MLA in Delhi. He was in the Congress party. I've had Manjinder Singh Sirsa ji sit on my right. He was in the Akali party. He had RP Singh. None of us have ever had a problem in wearing a turban. Who said that we can't wear a turban or can't wear a kada? You, my friend, are wearing a kada from your days in Janakpuri when you found this kinds of atrocities being committed against Sikhs. You're absolutely right. Janakpuri and Tilak Nagar were the places in Delhi where the worst atrocities were committed. So, thank you for doing this program. I'm here as an anguished Sikh, and I'm sure not only the Sikh community in Delhi but elsewhere will give a befitting reply because one is deserved. Will he course correct? I really don't know.
I don't think so.
This takes you back to the basic question about what Mr. Bitu said. I don't know. I mean, how can anybody in their conscience make a statement like this, then hope to get away? The judgment will come from the Janta, from the community, and from our Indian citizens, not just the Sikhs. I have a lot of my Hindu friends, my Christian Parsi friends, they're calling, ringing me, saying, hey, I saw this. What's happened to him? And then they're speculating. And one of them said he's pure nuts. That's all.
Well, I mean, yeah, possibly. Even that could be an understatement. But Hardeep Puri, I thank you for putting your views so passionately on the program today. So passionately. And we saw the press conference, and I think we are proud of the way you're putting things.
Thank you
very much, Mr. Puri. Thank you very much. That's why I'm so proud to always say that Hardeep Puri is my many years senior from Hindu College, ladies and gentlemen. And that's another reason I hold him in such regard, besides other things. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We have RP Singh with us, Jyotsna Tirunagiri of the TDP, RP Singh, National Spokesperson, BJP, R. Rajagopalan, impeccable speaker, Professor Akhil Swami, who represents the Congress perspective, and Nikhil Jain as well. And we have Tariq Khan. I want to ask Tariq Khan first. You're from Samajwadi Party. Does a person talk like this? Leader of opposition. Hey, look there, traitor, gadda, look at his face dekho, chehra dekho. Is this the way you talk? Is this right? Will you support this also? I don't think even Akhilesh would talk like this.
And you will support Nishikant Dubey saying inside Parliament, whole Nehru family, Gaddar, Makar, Bhrashtachar and Ayyar. Do you support? Yes or no? Do you support?
Depends on the context in which it is said, because I am of the view that Nehru did a lot of things which are against our national interests.
Please be on the point, Arnab. Yes, do you agree or not? Simple.
Yeah, so can I answer that question?
You are disagreeing or agree?
I am saying something to you. No, why are you raising your voice?
Move forward.
You are not, don't behave like Rahul Gandhi. 1 minute.
Agree or disagree? Simple.
I say that I feel very angry. Right. I would say that Nehru betrayed the people of India when he said Nehru betrayed the people of India in 1962.
Arnab, don't
I believe Nehru, Rajagopalan, my point is Nehru betrayed the people of India so many times that I can't even hold account.
Rajagopalan, I want to ask Samajwadi Party spokesperson, what happened to Mayawati in UP Assembly when Mulayam Singh Yadav was Chief Minister? What happened to her?
Arnab, you didn't reply to me. Arnab, you didn't reply me.
No reply is needed.
Are you scared? Are you scared? Arnab, please reply to my question.
In UP Assembly. What happened to Mayawati in UP Assembly when Mulayam Singh Yadav...
The question is about... the question is about... I say this... 1 minute. The question is about... The question is about... See, I'll tell you one thing. Let me say one thing to you. Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing to you.
Please respond on Nishikant Dubey.
Yeah, let me say one thing to you. See...
You'll allow somebody to say these...
Let me say one thing to you. Some people say that those who are children of politicians behave in an arrogant way. It's not necessarily true. Akhilesh is the son of a very senior politician. He doesn't behave like that. Nara Lokesh is the son. Let's get Jyotsna. Nara Lokesh is the son of such a tall leader, Chandrababu Naidu. Would Nara Lokesh ever behave like that? It is not. Would Nara Lokesh ever behave like this, Jyotsna? I've seen Nara. Even when his father was in jail, he kept his composure and his dignity. He fought, but he never behaved like this. So it has not got to do with coming from a political family. The behavior is the
You
problem.
just now made a statement against the Kashmiri Pandits. So does it mean that you were trying to hurt the community of Kashmiri Pandits? They're also a very sensitive community. Let's be real. This was a remark to Ravneet Singh Bittu, who's a political turncoat. He is not representing the Punjabi or the Sikh community.
Okay, 1 minute. Just a minute. Let me say one thing to you. One minute. Just a minute.
सुखविंदर रंधावा सरदार है, गुरजीत आलूजा सरदार है,
Who is a Kashmiri Pandit?
सरदार है, ये सारे थे ना वहाँ पर.
Who is a
All
Kashmiri
of these
Pandit?
four gentlemen are Sikhs. When this political turncoat called Bitu said ये देश के दुश्मन हैं, तब ये सरदारों को या पंजाबियों को या सिखों को देश के दुश्मन नहीं कहा जा रहा था. देश के दुश्मन तो इनकी पार्टी में बैठे हैं. मजिंदर सिंह सिरसा बीजेपी के जो मंत्री है दिल्ली में, the minister in the Delhi government of the BJP says Bindrewala.
But Nishikant's words have been expunged. The question is the Samajwadi Party spokesperson.
I am not even talking
Nishikant's
about
words have been
Nishikant Dubey.
expunged.
Anyway,
that's my clear answer to the Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Now we have a problem here. Jyotsna is on the debate. I'd like to bring in Jyotsna.
Arnab, Abhi, what all has happened in the parliament? You have quoted about our leader Nara Lokesh. Okay. I'll give you a small example. Politics, especially when you are a MP or MLA or MLP, whatever, when you are carrying a position, you have to maintain a decorum. That's called decency. Yehi log hain, because Rahul Gandhi ji was the same person. I give utmost respect to him again. He was the same person who said, how can you question my nationalism? How can you question my patriotism? Yahi pucha tha na Arnab ji unhone. Now he casually called somebody a gaddar. Now, there was a person who said, नहीं बीजेपी ने ऐसा बोला, बीजेपी ने वैसा बोला. अब मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ, अगर बीजेपी ने गलत किया तो आप क्यों गलत कर रहे हो? On the steps, when you enter the parliament, you call a fellow parliamentarian, forget him if he's a Sikh, forget if he's a Hindu, forget if he's a Muslim, forget if he's a Christian, whatever. He's a fellow parliamentarian, right? It is bullying, Arnab ji. It is not even, heckling. It is called bullying. I'm a teacher, I tell you, it is called bullying. आप देखिए वहाँ पे वो visuals देखिए.
It was banter, madam.
It's called banter. Okay, 1 minute. Firstly, I'll tell you one thing. Jyotsna ji, Nikhil, come down. Akhil, 1 minute. I'll tell you what is banter and what is bullying. There are a couple of points to be made here. It is traitor. Okay, RP Singh, RP versus Akhil.
No. Akhil, एक minute. Just hold on. Word is traitor. Traitor is treason against the country. It's not Gaddar. It's much bigger than, it's much bolder than, and much harmful than just word using Gaddar. But traitor is who? Traitor is one who has signed MOU with the Communist Party of China. Traitor is who? Traitor is who takes money on name of Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and then doesn't tell what is the money for. That guy is traitor. Traitor is one who caused traitor for political functions. Man who is accused in 1984 killings. Traitor is who defends traitor. Traitor is one who ensures that all who were involved in 84 riots are forgiven, are part of his party still. He is traitor.
नहीं ऐसे नहीं बोलूंगा जब तक मुझे टाइम नहीं देगा.
नहीं
टाइम क्या लोगे? टाइम तो आपको देना.
मुझे टाइम दे तो मैं बोलूंगा. ऐसे नहीं बोलूंगा.
इस प्रकार की आपके नेता ने बदतमीजी करी आज एक सरदार के साथ. That can't be forgiven.
बोलने का टाइम दे.
जैसी hatred DNA of the Congress Party. जैसे DNA of the Congress Party hatred against इंदिरा गांधी ने एक मिनट की ना इंदिरा गांधी ने गोल्डन टेम्पल हमला कराया, ऑपरेशन ब्लू स्टार किया, जबकि ऑप्शन सी ऑपरेशन ब्लैक सेंटर जैसी. Even then she went for the operation blue star and then discredited our temple, and not only temple, there was bullet being fired at the Guru Granth Sahib also. तो वो है प्रॉब्लम आपकी हेट्रेड की. राजीव गांधी ने क्या कहा?
Can I say one thing, please? Can I say one thing? Can I make a comment? Can I make a comment to that paper down? Akhil, yeah, 1 minute. I'll tell you, I won't call anybody a traitor, but I want to say one thing that I will do. Akhil, I will after 1 minute, please. I just want to make a comment. I'll come to you. Below you, ladies and gentlemen, are examples of the erratic, strange behavior of Rahul Gandhi. Hug, wink, kiss. Does any person behave like this? Now, at one time, it was said that he's a young man, he's 43, 44 years old, he's not experienced. Though I think at 43 years of age, people become president of United States of America. But it was said that Rahul Gandhi बहुत young है. अभी वो 43-year-old, 57-year-old हो गया. अभी भी डेब्यू चल रहा है 57 years में. Now the point is, Rajiv Gandhi justified the killing of Sikhs. इनके पिताजी ने सिखों के नरसंहार को जस्टिफाई किया ये कहते हुए कि जब भी कोई बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती थोड़ी हिलती है. इन्होंने जस्टिफाई किया. Am I right?
क्या कहा?
इन्होंने जस्टिफाई किया. The killing of Sikhs was justified by Rahul Gandhi's father.
बोलने देंगे अर्नब आप.
Second point is Sajjan Kumar. Sajjan Kumar was involved in the killing of Sikhs, and Congress party gave Sajjan Kumar a ticket, Rajagopalan, to contest the elections in 1991. Again, he was given the ticket to contest from Outer Delhi in 2004. So Congress party said, Rajagopalan, आपने सिखों को मारा है, कोई बात नहीं, और मारिए. Then Jagdish Titler, Rajagopalan,
and moreover, what Mr. Puri has given you an example of two women blocked. Does it mean that Prime Minister was to be harmed? SPG cannot enter the Lok Sabha? Security agencies or TC yesterday and today.
No, Rajagopalan, I'll come to that in the second debate. But Akhil, बोलने देंगे नहीं बोलने देंगे की बात नहीं है. आपने जगदीश टाइटलर को प्रमोशन क्यों दिया पूछता है भारत. Why have you? Nation wants to know. Why did you promote Jagdish Titler after he was accused of murder? Murder in the 1984 riots. Talk to me, tell me.
सुनिए, चुप मुंह पे हाथ रखिए और चुप रहिए और सुनिए. हरदीप पुरी से जो आप बात कर रहे थे, हरदीप पुरी ने प्रूव कर दिया कि बिट्टू जो है ट्रेटर है. वो नेशन का ट्रेटर नहीं है, वो सिख कम्युनिटी का ट्रेटर है. 1984 में सिख नरसंहार हुआ. 1984 से लेकर 2024 तक बिट्टू कांग्रेस पार्टी में रहा और ये इस आदमी ने कांग्रेस का नमक खाया. 2 बार मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बना, छोड़ के गया, पार्टी छोड़ी,
इसलिए उसने राहुल गांधी से हाथ मिलाने का प्रयास किया. लेकिन वो करने के पीछे कौन थी? इंदिरा गांधी
कम्युनिटी का ट्रेटर है. वो देश का ट्रेटर नहीं है, वो सिख कम्युनिटी का ट्रेटर है. उसने सिख धर्म को धोखा दिया.
अभी Akhil Swami has said that Sharad Pawar is a traitor because Sharad Pawar was also Sharad Pawar was also in the Congress party and broke away and formed that NCP. Yeah, everybody who has moved away from the Congress party is a traitor. क्योंकि आपकी जो सोच है, for you your whole world is limited to 10 जनपद. वो भी आपका घर नहीं है. Soon that will also have to be vacated.
PC Chaku, Sushmita.
Jyotsna.
Can you ask them a question? In Telangana, they have taken people who have, won from other parties into their party. So are they? What do you call them? उनको क्या बुलाओगे आप? कांग्रेस ज्वाइन करोगे तो वो पेट्रियट्स है. कांग्रेस छोड़ोगे तो वो ट्रेटर है. ये कहाँ की नीति है?
40 साल वो कांग्रेस में रहा. उसने कांग्रेस में पार्लियामेंट रहा. उसने कांग्रेस को धोखा दिया. उसने सिख कम्युनिटी को धोखा दिया. वो ट्रेटर है. उसने सिख कम्युनिटी को धोखा दिया. वो ट्रेटर है.
राहुल गांधी बाहर जाकर कहता है, विदेश में जाकर कहता है कि
आरपी सिंह ट्रेटर नहीं है. आरपी सिंह ट्रेटर नहीं है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी में शुरू से है. बिट्टू ट्रेटर है. उसने सिख कम्युनिटी को धोखा दिया. सिख कम्युनिटी का ट्रेटर है वो. आरपी सिंह नहीं है ट्रेटर. बिट्टू ट्रेटर है.
सुष्मिता देव को नहीं बोला कभी ट्रेटर. पीसी
उसने हमारे स्वर्ण मंदिर के अपमान अगर करा था कांग्रेस ने तो 20 साल 40 साल
उसको क्यों ट्रेटर बोला उसने?
बिट्टू ट्रेटर है.
के प्रति नफरत है. यू हैव ए हेटेड अगेंस्ट सिख. यू हैव ए हेटेड अगेंस्ट सिख. इंदिरा गांधी, राजीव गांधी और राहुल गांधी नाउ
सिख कम्युनिटी का ट्रेटर है. कम्युनिटी को धोखा दिया है.
राहुल गांधी
इसीलिए बीजेपी नहीं जीतती है पंजाब में.
हुआ तो हुआ.
पंजाब में बीजेपी को वोट नहीं देते.
दिल्ली के अंदर एंड यू से हुआ तो हुआ. यू डेयर टू से हुआ तो हुआ.
7 पैनल पार्लियामेंट जो है.
I'll tell you. One minute. Hafiz Saeed. I want to make a point. Akhil, calm down. Volume down. You see, Rajagopalan, you know the value of Rahul Gandhi हमारे प्रोफेशन में in journalism there is a lady journalist who got a lot of praise from Hafiz Saeed. I will not name, you will not name, we all know. Hafiz Saeed said she is the best journalist in India. Hafiz Saeed. Similarly, the terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, Khalistani terrorist, praises Rahul Gandhi. He says he is bold, pioneering. Am I right, Rajagopalan?
Yeah, you are right.
Because when Rahul Gandhi went to America and said Sikhs cannot wear the kara, कहते हैं Sikhs cannot wear the kara. He got praise from Khalistanis. Khalistanis are supporting Rahul Gandhi today. It's a reality. You're a pro-Khalistani voice.
Pannu has said it that. Apart from that, now Obama has written a big story on Rahul Gandhi, saying he's a nervous person. From the quality. What does it mean? He also agrees with Pannu. Pannu has said very boldly that Rahul Gandhi supports Khalistan. Pannu has openly said that. And they must also understand that when he goes to foreign country, he says different things about Sardars and Sikhs. You cannot wear turban. Is it a statement that LOP can say in outside India? He cannot mention that.
Khalistanis. BJP called Sikh farmers Khalistanis. Arnab, the BJP was the one calling the Sikh farmers Khalistanis when they were sitting at the borders of Delhi 4 years ago. Their sitting member of parliament called a Sikh lady 100 rupees pe udhar pe bhade ke milne ke liye budiya to apologize for that in the court.
One at a time.
One leader of the Sikh BJP who said Sikhs are Khalistani.
Calls Bindrewala a sant. Bail Singh, this Son Bittu's grandfather, who you called a martyr and is indeed a martyr, was a Congress chief minister. This same very Bittu was in the same very Congress for 4 decades. He had called Rahul Gandhi a terrorist. This is the same party that keeps on calling the Congress party Nehru, Gandhi, Sardar Patel and all the national heroes and leaders from the independence movement as Desh ke Gaddar, as terrorists.
Who has said Patel or Nehruji as a Gaddar? No one has ever said Nehruji and Patel Sahab as Gaddar.
Again. Why did Narendra surrender again? In the trade deal, they have put our farmers in the dock. Now American corporates will come and...
Do you know anything about the trade deal? Is anything on record? Tell me, is anything on record as far as the trade deals go? How do you know that their farmers have been... No, how do you know what the farmers' interests have been compromised? Tell me that. And let's be very clear, when the Prime Minister has said on record, when Piyush Goyal has said on record, when Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said on record, that no farmers' interest will be compromised. But let's talk about traitor. What do you mean by traitor? Calling a Sikh a traitor, what do you mean by that? A man who has, what treason he has done in the country. Has he signed an MOU with China? Has he signed a MOU with Communist Party of China? Has he taken money?
The problem also is now, let us discuss another thing. Let us discuss another thing, Harish. Harish, are you there? Harish Mohammed Ibrahim.
Yeah, I'm here.
Harish.
Goswami.
Harish, you see, now let us discuss a more important issue, which is the growing national concern over the behavioral pattern of a person who unfortunately holds the position of leader of the opposition. The behavioral pattern is not just reflected in today's behavior, which was like roadside behavior today, you know. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. That is a traitor. There is very bad language that is used to describe it, but I don't use bad language, otherwise I will not say it. But you know, his behavior, sometimes getting angry, then during a national anthem, shuffling his feet, looking here and there, looking distracted, looking not focused, hugging, winking, kissing. See, the fact is, I do not expect someone to be a statesman. Everybody can have their own idiosyncrasies. But I ask anyone today watching the program, जो say anyone watching the program today. ये सब cute था जब 40 साल के थे. Now he's 57 years old. अभी ये cute नहीं है. This is strange behavior. This is a behavioral tendency, Jyotsna, which no mature man should exhibit.
Arnab ji, I'll quote some of the things. Some people are saying it was just a humor, it was just a banter, it was just a heckling. I'm sorry, Arnab ji, it's not humor, it's habit. It's a habit. And also it's not heckling, it's name calling. And Arnab ji, let me put it very clearly. Leadership is revealed in your language and in your body language. How you carry yourself, especially politicians and especially a person who calls himself a leader of opposition. Right? Arnab ji, I think, I have highest respect for the leader of opposition, but I think he should learn a little more decency on the floor of the house. He should learn a little more decency, and also
can I come in?
In the parliament, of the parliament, behave more like a parliamentarian.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I come in? Yeah. Okay. Let's hear it from my point of view. Having said that, whether the decorum and decency only applies to the LOP who want to have a small talk with his own leader who was there with him for almost 3 decades, who has been risen from rag to riches, contesting for Congress for almost 3 times, and the same Ludhiana where he was defeated under the BJP ticket. Just before the Lok Sabha election, he has been switching the party from Congress to BJP.
No.
From
What is
Ludhiana, where he
wrong?
was
One minute. Just one point.
One second, Arnab.
What is wrong if somebody joins the BJP?
Nothing is wrong.
Then what is the point?
Just before he was.
You know how you are behaving. You are behaving like no. Why?
You are saying that LOP's action of mere bando, mere civic sense, mere comedy as a.
Yeah, because Rahul Gandhi is behaving like a bandit. I am asking you. Rahul Gandhi is behaving like a bandit.
Who was on the central hall of the parliament calling a chief minister of Bengal, Didi, oh Didi. Whether any of the media.
What is wrong in saying Didi or Didi? Sister or sister?
Okay. Then
sister or sister? What is? You are describing someone as your sister. How is that wrong?
Mr. Arnab,
you are describing someone as your sister. How is that wrong?
It is like a roadside Romeo calling someone who is
roadside Romeo. To say Didi or Didi is roadside Romeo. I don't understand how.
Okay. Then Arnab Goswami, if that is true and if that is fine, then Mr. LOP, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, whatever he said, to be finest in all its possible way. If that kind of incorrigible behavior of Mr. Modi is beyond repair, if you are feeling...
My question to them is, if they have left Congress and joined other parties and they become traitors, what about the people who have left other parties and joined Congress? I can give you thousands of examples, the recent ones in Telangana, where the speaker is literally making a mockery of the democracy here. The constitutional that Mr. Rahul Gandhi carries. Sir, I'm asking you a straight question. If somebody leaves Congress, he becomes a traitor. Then if somebody joins Congress, he becomes a patriot.
Mr. Arnab Goswami is advocating that Mr. Modi calling Didi or Didi on such a
It's not Didi or Didi, it's Didi or Didi.
To be right.
Please use appropriate pronunciation.
We don't know Hindi. Hindi charyadu poda, right?
Okay, well, I'll tell you one thing. Now I'll tell you what is wrong. I'm little bit more of a serious person than you. Harish, 1 minute. Let me get Raja Gopalan back. Let me get Raja Gopalan back. If you want to talk about, if you want to talk about who is a traitor, I'll tell you.
And Stalin,
one minute. Raja Gopal. The person who involved Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale to become a stooge on their behalf and create problems for moderate Akali leaders, and therefore the person who promoted Bhindranwale. I choose my words carefully, Raja Gopalan. The person who promoted Bhindranwale. Who is the person? Raja Gopalan?
Indira Gandhi.
Now Akhil will be quiet.
Indira Gandhi.
Dikhao aina. Should I show you the mirror?
Dikhao.
Indira Gandhi.
Dikhao aina.
And apart from that, Rahul Gandhi was
the person. No.
Constitution book.
The person. Listen. The person who endorsed Amritpal in Parliament. What is the name of the person?
ट्रंप को खुश करने के लिए अर्नब क्या इजराइल में डांस किया अमेरिका को खुश करने के लिए जनरल नरवाणे ने क्या कहा, फट्टू कौन है, नरवणे साहब ने क्या कहा, फट्टू कौन है।
आपके लेवल में मैं नहीं जा सकता।
अरे आप
आपके स्तर तक मैं गिर नहीं सकता।
आप उससे ज्यादा नीचे ऑलरेडी जा चुके हैं।
नहीं,
आप राहुल गांधी जैसे देवता
यू आर स्पीकिंग वेरी बैडली।
राहुल जैसे देवता तुल्य आदमी का विरोध कर रहे हैं और बिट्टू जैसे सिख धर्म के ट्रेटर का समर्थन कर रहे हैं।
ज्योत्सना ही कॉल राहुल गांधी है गॉड।
जा चुके हैं।
ज्योत्सना ही कॉल राहुल गांधी है गॉड।
बिट्टू हैज बिट्रेड सिख कम्युनिटी। 40 साल वो कांग्रेस में रहा है।
My smile is the answer. I think you got my point. मेरा क्वेश्चन का तो किसी ने जवाब नहीं दिया। मैं पूछ रही हूँ, जब आप कांग्रेस छोड़ते जा रहे हो तो आप ट्रेटर बन रहे हो, तो कोई और पार्टी छोड़ के आप कांग्रेस में आ रहे हो तो वो ट्रेटर नहीं है सर।
मैं भी हूँ।
उसका तो जवाब टीचर है सर।
I again, you see now I'll tell you, RP. Now Tariq Khan has become quiet because Tariq Khan has become quiet Rajagopalan because he realizes ये गलत टर्न से जा रहे थे, रिवर्स करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। The point is this.
Never. See, Tariq. My point is still clear. Do you still support what has been said by Nishikant Dubey? And your silence says that Arnab Goswami support those words. My simple claim is this. Point number one. Anything has been said. Now, I'm not able to understand what is the problem in hugging somebody. You're saying if Rahul Gandhi hugs somebody, you criticize that. If he says my friend traitor, you criticize him. Means whatever he will do, you're bound to criticize.
You know what is the meaning of
You're bound to criticize. What's the problem in hugging somebody? That is good if you hug somebody.
Is that a parliamentary norm? Is that a parliamentary norm? Do you wing someone?
It's a symbol of love. It's spreading love.
You do a flying kiss. Is that normal?
Rajagopalan,
you think it's normal?
There is nothing wrong, but there is something strange. Rajagopalan, there is nothing wrong, but there is something strange, and increasingly, Tariq, people across the country are beginning to say that Rahul Gandhi's behavior is not normal.
You open up the line, you will understand.
Should I open the line?
You open up the line. You open up the line.
Open the line. Is Rahul Gandhi's behavior strange? Rajagopalan, I'm opening the lines on your head. Open the lines.
Yes.
Open the lines even if I have 2 minutes now. Call in, ladies and gentlemen. Put the number on the grid.
Everyone understands that.
People are saying Rahul Gandhi's behavior is not normal. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying, Akhil, don't shout. I'm not
Arnab, he took oath on the constitution. Same person is becoming a salesman for Penguin publishers. How can he bring a book inside the parliament? Is he a Rahul Gandhi, a LOP or a salesman for Penguin publishers? Why should he bring the book?
Being done by Rahul Gandhi, Arnab, you are supposed to criticize it whether it's being said by a friend traitor. Rahul Gandhi said friend traitor, you will criticize him. If he hugs somebody, you will criticize him. That's quite clear.
No, I'm saying he's a little bitter.
You will criticize
he's
him.
Bitter. He's a bitter fellow, bitter kind of
Always
person.
he said about the earthquake.
People are saying he's bitter, frustrated, angry, and hence volatile and angry. He shows his anger in these ways. It's not normal behavior.
Most lovable person in this country is Rahul Gandhi.
Should I open the lines, ladies and
in the parliament today, quoting from a book.
Congress में आएंगे 3 महीने के बाद.
Lady Prime Minister had elicited.
Arnab, you will also join Congress after 3 months. Mind my words. Mark my words. You will come to Congress. You will join Congress.
I don't mark your words only.
You will invite.
I don't mark your words. You sit there. This man, I'll tell you one thing. He sits around. This man, Akhil Swami. He makes money going on all YouTube channels discussing Arnab.
Arnab,
that's what he does for a living, morning, day and night. I know you. I know.
पैसा क्यों नहीं लूंगा यार?
You are a YouTuber.
पैसा लूंगा.
You are a YouTuber. आप YouTuber हो.
पैसा लेते हो.
You are a YouTuber.
पैसे के काम करते हो.
Everyone on. You are a YouTuber.
पैसा लेंगे यार, काम करेंगे.
You are the oldest YouTuber.
Yes, I am. I'm proud to. I'm proud to be.
But the behavior is unbecoming of an LOP.
What kind of
I'm sorry I couldn't give much time today for the calls to come in. But I truly believe that the behavior in Parliament today was unfortunate and unnecessary. Okay, I have one caller from Uti, Raghuraj. Raghuraj, what do you think, Raghuraj?
I'm Prabhuraj.
Prabhuraj, hi.
Arnab. I'm sorry.
Go on, Prabhuraj.
Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening.
Certainly, I can say certainly this Rahul Khan is under his favorite cocaine intoxication. Definitely, I will tell you. He's a mixer of three faiths. He's a mixer of three nationalism. How can we expect patriotism from this fellow?
Yeah, I think Abhishek from Kolkata, one more caller. Okay, Abhishek, what do you think of his behavior?
Yeah, hi, good evening, Arnab. I think he's an overgrown child, a mentally deranged, misbehaved individual who is unbecoming of, attending even the parliament in any capacity, let alone be a LOP.
Yeah, this overgrown child angle is coming across more and more. More people are using that phrase. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm wrapping it there. I just did that dipstick so you get a sense of public opinion. At 9 o'clock tonight, the unbelievable story of how the Prime Minister was physically stopped from addressing the Lok Sabha today. Physically stopped. When we are back.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जलजीरा मसाला।
सिप जीरा सिप MDH का